Feel free to ask any questions you have. If not, happy to do a quick walkthrough by picking a keyword that you are working with, so I can show you exactly how you'd fit that in Outranking. So if you want to drop in a keyword that you want me to create content around, do that, and I can do a quick walk. This is interesting. It's the first time I'm seeing something like this. So let's go ahead and create a new document. Copy. Okay. There's no review. Okay. So I'm not sure if this actually exists. If it does not, we can still go ahead and try it. There's no search volume to it, right? So it's very specific, probably be easier for it to rank, but I'm not sure if enough people are searching for this particular term in Google. Again, that shouldn't stop us from creating content. So let's go ahead and get started. Loads up commercial ice makers. There we go. Let's create a title. There we go. Buyer's guide. Okay. Let's see some outlines first. This is going to be challenging. And you want to do a review on it, right? So, okay. All right. So you are here. And first of all, what we'll do is we'll quickly go through creating some content, and then I'll show you how you can optimize it. So we'll go through the entire process, just not create the entire document, but we'll create major sections of this particular piece. So let's say who is, and I cannot pronounce for crap. So I'll just skip that, but I'm going to do key points here because this is more informative. I want some summarized concepts. So I am doing key points. Okay. So this is writing about the machine. And before we start writing, let's go to methods and create a very strong introduction for us. I will start with brilliant introductions. If you click on it, it'll ask you to enter a tone. And the way you enter tone is click here, I would say persuasive. And let's command this. There we go. It wrote an introduction. What I like normally doing is writing a couple of introductions to understand which one sticks for me and then going from there. So there's a few different methods to write introductions. So let's look at this pass as well. If you command it, it's going to ask for audience. So you're looking for, there you go. So it build out a pain, agitate, and solution sort of an introduction that you can use. All of these introductions are mostly great. Besides this 500 per year, you can change that number or adjust that particular sentence to create this kind of really good introductions. But you can see these introductions are like out of the world. They are built with specific intent in mind to get the users to keep reading further and going to the next step. So they're extremely engaging when it comes to it. Okay. Let's say we have our introduction. You picked one, and I'm going to pick the last one, let's say. Okay, we have our introduction. Now it's time for us to start creating content. So I'd go to sections, and what I want to do is it's description, right? So it's describing this particular product. I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. And some of this information over here might be relevant, might be not, right? Like it's pulling it out from existing information. So let's see. Okay, I don't want to do this. Let's go to default, generate concepts. Okay, this is more like it. And I'm just going to select all of it and summarize this concept. So it builds out a small paragraph on what that particular machine is about. And we have this. So you can add your own concepts too if you know a little bit more about this particular product. Add a couple of lines here and select it to sort of build out your paragraph. What you can also do is go to Google. Let's go to Google. And I'm going to go here, manufacturers of ice machine. And let's say you like a particular product that you're working with. There's many products, right? So you could give details about all of these products if you needed to, but we'll talk about one specific product. Okay. So let's copy this particular thing. Okay. It won't let me. There we go. Okay. So this is the description of the product, and we'll find out ways to fill out the entire section. So I'll show you for one particular product, and then we can talk about all the others, right? So let's go ahead and add what I'm trying to do. But what I'm trying to do is talk about a specific product. Okay. All right. So let's now go here and club this under. Okay. So we have it here. Now copy this, open this up. And since we already just added the content in here, what I'm going to do is feature sets. extract features. It can be any text. It will extract the features right out of it and change it to make it unique automatically. So we could say features, copy, back, copy, enter, copy, enter, copy, enter. And you can create a list of features from this if you wanted to. So these are all the features that it's giving you. I'm just going to label it like this right now. And then we need to probably write.
I'm very sorry, just to stop you here. So once you copy, like you just showed, is it automatically rewritten or you just copy whatever it grabbed from the original text?
So, okay, here. If you see, it's reading through existing text and it is rewriting it to the maximum level.
Also, it's rewriting instantly
it's rewriting instantly. But certain times, like something like this, right? Like remote cooled with the URC 5FZ, there's nothing to, in that cases, it'll just give you that. So then you are left with, how do you want to go about building this out? What you can also do is, let's say I didn't have the features and I wanted to just build out specifics of this at the paragraph. It will tell me. There we go. This is totally a unique description. So then you can pick the remaining one and build out a unique one as well.
Sorry. So one of these umbrellas, exactly, where do you highlight them?
You are selecting basically the concepts. It's telling you that you're selecting the concepts, and then you are clicking on summarize concepts to write content around those 4 things that you have selected.
Gotcha. So it's like a combined summary of several different concepts at once. And when you click on answer, it's like it uses different algo to answer kind of the questions, or
right. It can answer pretty much. It doesn't even have to be a question. It can go ahead and write the paragraph for you, but it is optimized for path. People also ask. So if you're trying to rank for certain questions in Google, for people also ask a box, this will give you answer in a format that has higher chances of being placed there. So that's one. Second, it is using GPT-3. So you want to use answer for questions or things which are more general in nature and does not need much of fact checking. This is fact checking, right? So use concepts. But if it does not require fact checking, then you can use answers.
Okay, so it's more generic. And one more question: if you click on answer, does it generate also the how to schema? I think that's how it's called, right? On Google.
Right. It's not generating schemas, not at least not right now. The platform is not doing schemas. It's just writing based on best practices for Google. You're welcome. Okay. So let's say you have this, right? But you don't want to stop at features. You want to probably include benefits, disadvantages, or things like that, like pros or cons, right? So this could be Control X and this could be a feature. But let's say you want to talk about now pros. You want to talk about pros. And you want to talk about cons. So what I'm going to do is, let's go ahead and find some reviews. And whoever is selling it will probably have the reviews. Must include reviews. Let's see. Oh, wow. There's no company that has reviews for this particular product. But let's say you have this FS Market and they give you more information than what that other thing was going to give you. So let's go ahead and copy this right now. If in ideal cases, if someone has given testimonials or I don't know, reviews for a particular product, I would just grab that content to analyze that and come up with a strategy for writing pros and cons. But here we don't really have anything that can be of that thing. So this is not going to give us any good data and I can already tell. But let's see if we can find this somewhere else. Do you know where I can find some sort of review? If I can, that would be great.
I think either eBay or Amazon. Amazon probably would be the best, usually.
So for per se, let's say I'll pick this ice maker right now. And what's going to happen is that you have tons of information here, right? That people have written, right? So you want to write pros and cons based on information is factual. So I'll just copy all of these information, go back to our editor, and let's delete all of these things so I can show you in a better way and just add those details here. And then I will say now, go find all the pros, right? So I'm writing pros. So that means like advantages or benefits. It's more readable than anybody could ever do. So what you would now do is you can either build out paragraphs for this particular machine using this. You could straight away add these in as more digestible information. This is unique. This is not copied from Amazon. It's after analyzing all that data, it's coming up with suggestions. So you can delete the ones that you think are untrue or you don't want to include this. But again, it's based on user sentiments that we have extracted this information from. So they pretty darn accurate, right? You can do similar things with disadvantages as well. So I see lots of people gave it 1 star, 2 stars. So this is going to be flooded for this particular product. Serviceman is not reliable. Parts are expensive and hard to replace. The machine is old and has high repair costs. So this could be one part. Customer service not reliable. The company has poor customer service, right? No filters for ice machine. Then model number is not listed. Machine may break down if not maintained properly. So you can come up with, you can just select the concepts that you think are relevant to, con section of it and just kind of summarize it. And it will write based on that information. So it can understand sentiments from text pretty well. So you can throw in any text and, just grab information from it. It can also find related information from existing text, a large text, and you want to extract only certain information which is scattered across the entire research or reference. It can extract that information in a very structured way as well. So use multiple methods to kind of understand which one works for you. But in this particular scenario, you're mostly going to use benefits, disadvantages, features to build out your sections. I think this is where you got stuck, right? Like clicking right.
Yes, exactly. And this is marvelous. I'm sorry, I rarely compliment companies, but I have to be honest. I'm a let's say savvy business software user for decades, and yeah, when I see something like this, I have to compliment the authors.
Thank you.
All kudos, and believe me, I did research last week on all similar solutions. There's a link grab. They're probably the closest competitor. I signed up for a free trial. Nothing even close to this. So absolutely. To just see if everyone else is on the call, I can tell you, as I'm not getting paid by Outranking anything. It's just, trust me, saves you a lot of resources at a time. Just don't even try to research anything else. It's nothing compared to this. Try it for 10 tools. And now one question I had is, so the write for me button at the bottom, that's where we stuck actually with the credit, okay. What it does.
Okay. So let me explain. So there are many editors, and what has that led to is people thinking that write for me will write, the magic, it's just like spinning the magic wand and it'll write for me. So what we've done is we've placed certain restrictions on how you go about guiding the AI to write for you. So let's say what really happens is that when you're here and you click write for me, it's not going to allow you. It has very little reference as to what this new paragraph is about. If you are asking it to read through the previous paragraph and build out the next paragraph, it's going to be based on or heavily reliant on probability, which means chances of it spitting out fluff or useless information greatly increases, and you'd constantly have to go back and delete stuff. But if you add a little more context to this, you'd have no problem finishing sentences up. So let's say, I'd say furthermore, and then do write for me, it will give you things. And this is where it actually ended it, because it just doesn't have enough context. If you're writing for some generic topics, write for me is going to work extremely well. Things which are like opinion-based and creative in nature, write for me will work brilliantly. But when it comes to writing this sort of factual information and a modular approach to writing, where you build out certain sections with clicks, write for me is the last thing or the last resort that you want to go to, but it will work if you provided proper context. That's the only trick here, is providing enough context so that it understands where you want the content to go.
It makes sense. Yes. So that's why I thought, because GPT-3 usually it works like that. It's more generic than, like, you cannot write it about a specific model of the machine, or but it's great in terms of style and kind of intros or closures or resolutions or something like that. So
Right.
I saw there is a spinning wheel. It's like a settings wheel near to right for me. Can you just explain a little bit?
Yes. So my personal preference on this setting is low.
Well,
I always
yeah,
keep it low.
yeah,
Reason being, I just don't want it to take control of my thought and keep me off focus, right? Like the problem I have is I have a strong ADHD. And when I see a sentence being built out, I all of a sudden tend to think about finishing that sentence than the thought that I had previously. So what I do is I set it to low. And when it's set to low, I do furthermore and write for me. It's going to most likely go ahead and just finish the sentence. That's the speed I want. I don't want it to constantly rewrite stuff. So,
yeah. And a question like, is there any contextual help on the tone like of writing? Like you put their procedure, but is there like a professional? I don't know, because it's very hard to remember all these styles. Do you think of adding the
so here's the reason and one of the challenges to writing with tones. And I'll show you. Writing with tone, the reason why it's difficult to add fixed tones is because there are 155 tones that you can pretty much use. And this guide I was just about to publish this today. So you'll get this guide. But what this write for me is it also has voice line. So you can add a little personality to it. And the reason why it's kept like open-ended, so that you can add personalities to it. And what is the personality? Let's go ahead and look at that. And you will love this. If you like how the paragraphs were being built out, you would really love this. So let's say I want to write like angry ice. I would say I'd sell ice, right? Or in bulk, or angry merchant, let's say. You could say angry merchant or angry, I don't know, seller or buyer or whatever it is, right? Like, or you could say dad who needs lots of ice for the kids. I don't know what did kids do with the ice, right? But that's the personality that I want to take to. You can guide to write it in that personality.
so it's really free form. It's like
Yes,
you
it
can
is.
write whatever you want because it's GPT-3 and they take it into like a self-learning kind of whatever they use, the algo.
Right. So it's based on the algorithm that we have created that we're giving it to GPT-3, allow you to give tones or just voice or both or bot. But the way we've designed our training data is to make sure that, take all of these things in and write based on that. It's open-ended. So that means that more choices, which also means that more confusion, but it's more powerful that way.
Of course. And it's not because I was confused on is it the canned, like a standard tones, like you mentioned, 100 and something, or it's an open. So you actually created the open-ended kind of input into that. So it's self-learning as it goes.
Right.
Okay.
Also something very creative that we are trying to do with upcoming release, like talking about coming release, but something creative we're trying to do is come up with workflows. So it's like, for example, certain workflows just needs persuasive tone, or certain workflows just needs, a convincing or witty tone, right? Like if you're writing for a website headers, you want to be witty or you want to be, punchful in a different way. Persuasion means you're going to write a sentence, which is not the point of a headline. So we're going to have workflows that kind of understands this best practices and have the right tone set in it, which you can then go and edit if you want to, but you don't need to because it's going to rely on those best practices.
Nice. So it's like simplifies your life. And one more question, because we skipped a little bit over like the initial part of getting, for example, we want to optimize the existing page, for example, right?
Mhm.
The one that we have, a blog post or the web page on the site. And we want, I saw that this thing can really write beautiful SEO titles and descriptions. I already tested that it's really wonderful. Now, and I saw the DA and all that stuff. Now, a question, if you have an existing page and you want the thing to analyze the textual content and give you focus or primary keyword and up to, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 NLP or EAT or whatever you call it, relevant keywords based on the analysis of the existing content. Can Outranking do it?
We do that. That's the heart of it.
Can you show that?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to start by importing a URL. So let's go ahead and import it. Now I have this content here.
It even imports the images as well, and I guess alt tags and all that.
Yes. Yeah. There's an enhancement to all tag, but it imports all the images and everything. And it also integrates back into your WordPress. So let's say this, I don't need this.
So basically, you can edit everything from here, and it will be reposted to WordPress.
Yes, can. Yes, you can. You can. You have to go to WordPress and pull
Yes.
data to do it. But yes, it can do this. So now let's say you imported this. This is your score, 60. Now you need to go ahead and improve it, right? So where are the things that you would improve? You'd improve it related keywords or topics, right? So let's go to related keywords first. There are these 4 keywords that we are suggesting that you include in your content, which you have not yet. Okay. As soon as you start including this, let's say selecting the right commercial machine. There we go. You see that? It will tell you that you have a good enough coverage. So none of these things have been mentioned in SERP. Okay. That's why there's a poor score. So we'd have to look at something else in order for me to show you, but let's look at topics and I can show you that AI icon over here. Okay. So these are the topics, NLP terms, Google NLP terms. This is Google NLP straight off. You can click on all and you can see all the keywords and how many times they've been mentioned in SERP. Over here, how many times you've mentioned it. Now, let's say you want to talk about commercial ice maker. This is something that you've not covered, right? If you go topic here and click this, it will show you all the places where you can potentially place the commercial ice keyword in your existing content first. So it's showing all the existing content partially used, partially used. This is showing if you've used this particular keyword anywhere in your content, but this is showing where your competition has used that particular keyword in their title. You can also see where your competition has used that particular keyword in their content. So you can grab it and take it wherever you need it to.
So basically, you just copy and paste the existing thing, and then you can change whatever you want as a paragraph.
Yes.
To each one.
Right. It also rewrites it based on SEO optimize. If you click on it, it'll just read existing. And then you can just copy it.
So you mean when you click on SEO optimized, what it rewrites exactly? The ones that are the competitive ones? Or
yeah. So it's a couple of things happening. If you are selecting content from existing pages, there's nothing to add, right? Like we're not adding commercial ice maker because it's already there. In that case, it will just rewrite the stuff and you can copy it. But let's say if you had a certain thing here and you wanted to add commercial word in here, you just don't know where to. In that case,
and it injects it wherever
it finds fit, right? So if it finds it fit, then it will inject it. You can also use this to do research, understand like what topics you're missing. So in this content right now, I can see that I've not mentioned commercial. I've mentioned commercialized mixture, but let's say I've not mentioned Scotsman. I don't know what that is, right? And I want to find out. There we go. This is one of the brands that they have. So I want to find information related. There's no content for it, but there's some headers that they've used to probably show different products on their web page. So it's good to do research and find out if certain things that you need to include are not included. Then how is your competition using it so you can use it? You can also, there's also like an extended heat map that shows you how your competition is using each of these keywords in their content. So let's say ice machine. It was used twice from the 20 pages that we analyzed in title, 9 times in the description that we found, 12 times in URL, twice in headlines, right? So you see what's making up that common ranking factor. And these are some of the things that you need to definitely include. Yellow are the ones which are like outliers. It could be opportunity if you deep dive on it. If you don't, it's not going to significantly impact negatively in your ability to rank. So it's a very granular approach into finding out where and how you need to use keywords.
And the clusters, can you cover it?
Clusters, again, it's going to give you some high level clusters only, one word as well. So let's go and look at machines and look at some clusters and give you what sort of things that you need to include. So if we're talking about this particular machine, like let's say the size of ice maker, a decent ICQ machine, right? So make sure that you include some of these things in the content that you're writing around machine. It's not pretty darn accurate in any cases, no matter what clustering tool you use. It's segregated, right? So the reason why we have cluster tool is mostly because the users want it. But in terms of content ideation and optimization, it does very little if you think about this. Like when I'm talking about optimizing, let's pick a two word, right? So it makes a little more sense. Ice machine, cube ice machine. I don't need to be including this very closely with where I'm mentioning ice machine. It can rely in different parts of my content. So what this really means that these are the topics that you want to cover. If you cover them as closely as possible, that's great, but it's not a must. It's no way a ranking factor if you use a cluster in certain way or not. So this is just to kind of understand for certain keywords, if all the user intents are met and that you're covering that cluster property. So a good example would be Ford Bronco 2020, where you'd want to talk about pricing, styling, models, and stuff like that. So a keyword could be, a peripheral, a cluster could be something associated with that. And then it could show you Ford Bronco pricing, Ford Bronco. So yeah, let's say Ford Bronco. So you could have Ford Bronco pricing, features, specs, warranty, etc., etc. Right? It'll be easier for you to figure that out. And that's what it helps with, figuring it out. But ranking factors and stuff like that,
Yes.
my go-to is always related keywords first and then topics. And what Outranking never suggests you that these are the times you need to use the keyword in your content. That's not the purpose. The purpose here is it's showing you that this is how many times it was used by your competition. What you want to use, how you want to use, it's still up to you. We're not recommending that you use it 60 times or 100 times. That's not how you create ranking content. You create ranking content by making sure you have all the right user intent signals and your content has enough depth to it. That means you're covering the topics. It's not important how many times that keyword is mentioned to, kind of tell Google that, hey, you know what, we're mentioning this content here, come read it. That's not the case.
And out of your personal experience in your company, so the method that we basically paraphrase, we rewrite the existing content, right? Isn't Google smart enough these days to understand that you basically copy the same topic? Won't it hurt your rankings?
Right. So, but you would never copy a topic. I would.
Yeah, I know it's like a Lego. It's basically you're using the existing blocks and they are rewritten completely. I understand, but I mean, is it Google right now smart enough to identify these things and to understand that it's a Lego basically combined from existing original copy from somewhere else? I think I know the answer. I just wanted to your opinion.
First thing first, if you are rewriting content from existing content on the web, you're not providing any additional value. And I would just stop right there. I understand the need to create SEO optimized content, but in order to do that, you need to provide additional value. And that is why this tool helps you, right? How do you provide additional value? You're not going through a few pages to understand what you need to include in the content. What you're going through is 20 pages who have segregated sets of information. You are putting it together, creating a power page around it and calling it the beast, right? Like you're calling it like this content is better than everyone else because it has everything the user needs. It has more value than other pages would need. Now that Google finds it helpful and that can help you rank because it strongly caters to that user intent, which
more like originality, more than just a writer. You don't need to be I don't know, Mark Twain or something.
exactly.
Okay.
Right. Exactly. Right. And there are ways to add more value, not just by content ideation, but there are more values you can add by specific examples and stuff like that. So when I write content, I make sure that every section has like 3-4 examples because that's something that nobody's going to do. My examples will be different. It will touch majority of the keywords that I'm trying to target. And we have lots of information that users can actually find useful because people learn from examples. So it's one way of adding more value is finding more examples than your competition, adding it for different use cases. Second is be wholesome, right? Like making sure you cover every aspect of what the user might be searching for this particular product, not just what suits you or what we think is the right thing. Rely on the data and go about everything. Third thing, I also rely on non-traditional sources of content to come up with some ideas of my own. So, for example, I just created a blog post on content marketing strategy. And when you do that, sure, I have my own insights. I've relied on SERP data, but I relied on SERP data to help me score my content in this particular case. But the references and the research, I pulled it out from a very great white paper that I saw somewhere.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
I just copied and pasted that content from that gated assets into my content because it was really good content and it was not available on the web, right? So I used that.
So you actually certainly pretty. So you basically put that content into the outline. You create a new outline. The heading is dedicated to a particular white paper, and then you put, for example, specifications for this particular ice machine. It's a great example. Spec sheets, very extensive with lots of content, and they're not available publicly. So you can put it. And basically the header is an example of the machine model, and you put the whole content, you simply copy paste that. So how you do it? Can you again show?
So yeah, let's go here, right? So let's go and look at a PDF.
You can go actually to that FSX Market website. They have the spec sheets available as PDF, so you don't even need to go anywhere else. Or here, maybe, I don't remember. I think it's FSX Market. It's
I think they had PDF.
Maybe here. Yeah. This one. Yeah, I saw that. Yes, exactly.
This is bunch of diagram. There's no code.
Yeah, I know.
Show you something that I was working.
Okay. Yeah, like a text, mostly text.
Strategy. Yeah, this is the PDF.
Yeah, perfect.
Right? So let's say I have my outlines. Now my outline talks about setting goals and objective, right? What I do is use this content to recreate this content. So let's say this is my introduction, set goals and objective, and go back here. You can just dump entire content and find related information too. But because you have it structured, I'd pick specifics and extract concepts from it. So let's just do key points for better readability.
Okay, so you first create the heading, then you actually dump it inside the text box, and then you click on the theme, like how you want to generate the content in which aspect, right? And then you click on generate. Okay.
Yep, exactly. And it will write better, right? So setting goals and objective right now, what you say, I just summarized this in a different way. But let's say you wanted to sort of have a positive vibe to it. You wanted to influence it with more positive data.
Benefits, yes. That you do, and then you can summarize them, using like these umbrellas, or you can just one by one copy them in the outline. So.
Exactly. This will tremendously help you. And let's see this PDF that we just saw here. I could say, let's just dump all of these content in. And I'd say I want to talk about just specifically content marketing goals, not everything else. So I would say goals, dump this data in here. Because I'm just looking for information on goals from the existing information, I'll select related. And it will try really hard to extract information related to goals from existing information.
Now, a question in that specific module, in the outline, is there a way to grab the missing or the desired related keywords or topics right inside the each tag?
Okay. This is, again, incorporating your keywords into the content in the right specific way. At Outranking is an afterthought because we use something very unique. It's called logit bias. We use a technology that influences the AI to write around topics that we are.
Okay, I understand. Yes. It's similar to they call it NLP, Google algo, where it follows the similar strategy where Google understands the concept and kind of tries to rank the content, not by specific keywords, but the content. By the concept of writing. So basically your tool, when you define the primary and related keywords, already your AI is biased towards writing content with those, right?
Exactly. Right. Yes. It's biased towards that. It's also biased towards pulling out the research too, but it's set to minimum level so that you don't miss out on key information.
Yes.
But yes, it's both ways. What I've noticed, like in 98% of the topics, I've created about 10 in the last 7 or 8 days. And I've noticed thoroughly this time that it almost always will cover your topic coverage, which means that it is doing what it's supposed to do.
And can you explain distinctions from SERP and FW?
Yes.
Yeah, these ones. Like, do you advise? Like, how do you advise to?
So this is for content ideation. So this is also in the AI wizard. If you are here, you most likely already see and included this in your content. But after you've created your outline, you feel like you're missing some. This is like really great outline here. Capacity, storage, energy efficient, right? This is like the outline that I'd probably want. But you want to include, let's say, noise cancellation or types of installations in it. You can click here. You can go back in here and you will see the types of installations are.
Oh, so it just grabs it to another tab of your outline.
Right. And then let's say if you added this in here and you want to convert this into something else, there we go.
Nice.
It's unique. It's a question converted directly from the content.
Yeah.
Types of installations, right? So if you put this in here, let's generate topics. It's smart enough to go find out that even if this was not exact to exact match, what is the most relevant information to installation? It will go find it.
And so the HFW, this one.
Yeah. So this is, and this is going away in the next release. So don't even bother with it. But making it easier, we're incorporating it in some existing elements to do the same thing that you're doing here. But what's this is that these are some of the important words that we identified people say over and over in their headline. So let's start with all 10, right? 10 means it's been used in
10 types by competitors.
10 pages, yeah, in 10 different pages, right? I'll select cool.
Yeah.
And it will give you all cool related stuff.
I understand why you don't no longer need it, because your AI learns, like, it's biased towards specific set keywords. So this is redundant, right? And rearrange, is it also going away or?
No, this is actually improving. Rearrange is basically rearranging your existing section. So you see this types installations. I'll move this up here. Look what happened here. It came up here. So you can move around the entire sections from anywhere into the website. I mean, anywhere in your content.
Okay. It's
for rearranging your sections without having to copy, cut, paste, and find out where you want to move it and stuff like that.
Got you. So it's like it's leveled. It's yeah, because it's automatically recognizes H3 is under H2 and H2 is under. Okay.
Understand. You can also drag it like all the way here and rearrange it too. So.
And rearrange from H3, move it to H2 and so on. And okay. So this stays. Excellent.
So in research tab, quick things, right? So this, I think you can pretty much relate very easily: score, domain authority, page authority, backlinks, and the word count that particular document has. What this icon means is that you can hide this particular page from being considered in the ranking factors that Outranking is suggesting you. So sometimes what happens is that you'd have content that has like 20,000 comments, 20,000 words of comments.
Something not related to the top. Right. Might be an outlier. So you
right. Get it. Right. An outlier. Right. Exactly. Or let's say
Amazon,
for example, or a distinct site. In that case, you can come and hide it. It will not go and read through those content. It will not read for concept research as well as for scoring mechanism. So we'll exclude that page from scoring as well as researching. But let's say if you want to add your own set of URLs for us to read through, you can add your own as well.
Because you consider them relevant, even though they are not ranked top 10.
Yeah, because it's curated by you, right? Like you think it's important for your content. So you can use it in here to do research.
Can you add your domain, which is not scored high yet, and just compare it to others?
Yeah. So outranking.io, I mean, it's going to give me probably 0 score. I don't have any keywords here, but let's see. It will go pull the information and it'll show you certain matrices, but yeah, it's 0.
Of course. Yeah. Because it's, yeah. I understand. So it's a good way to do a summary, for example, for your boss or for your client or your colleague to show that, well, these competitors are ranked top because they have this at the glance, right? And yours is lacking this. So you need more links, you need more domain authority, PA, words, there's not enough, right? For the page and so on. But this is beautiful selling thing. That's why. And when you click on expand all, what happens here?
Expand all means you can read through all the pages detailed right here without having to open them a new page. You can also search through these pages by expand all. So some tell you like 6 places assembly was mentioned, and it'll go to read all the pages.
Oh, okay. So you can actually, and you can copy paste if you want or some presentation, send it to client or send it to, okay. And I saw also a very cool thing. I think it was called like an executive summary or something. When you click and it gives you like the project, for example, you're writing a page and it gives you like you have to, like your competitors are using that many words or maybe I'm mixed. Yeah. Something like that. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like showing you all the competing data.
Yes.
So readability.
So it's SEO score. So when you click on that, it just gives you that interact kind of graphically.
Yes. And this score is like very well thought out. It's the same process that we've been using to create content, and we've done some amazing stuff. There we go. Beating out Moz, Href on, many.
Yes.
they're big guys. But again, right, like this is 100, like the score of this particular topic was 100 on Outranking. It just has so much depth and so much value that user will not find it anywhere else. And that's what's making it fine.
Of course. So that's much better than SEMrush, for example, dashboard or score or anything else. Okay. Yeah. So this is presentable to executive meetings or to clients, so we can just copy paste it like that in the presentation and give a high level glance on your pages need improvement because it's this, your content is this, readability. So it's very, how to say, summarized very well.
Yes, absolutely. So
nice. Yeah, this is exactly what they want us. So
cool. Sounds good. We finished through the entire session. Wow. Malcolm, welcome here. I know you've been on mute. It's okay.
Yeah. And sorry, may I ask you just can you copy paste this thing and maybe, I don't know, send by email or maybe on this chat. So I want to present it to my colleague like this. I want to present the outcome because it worth 1,000 words, and also maybe you can show us how to export maybe alt tags. Also, we didn't cover it. Do you have anything on alt or image title tags that we could?
So image alt tags enhancement is coming in the next release.
Okay.
You'll be able to get a hint of what sort of alt tags you should use in your content. So that's part of the next release. And there's plenty of updates around image optimization too, going further that we have on our roadmap.
Is there any way you mentioned the WordPress integration or at least WordPress expertise? We have expertise. Okay.
We have integration with WordPress. So let's go look. And it is, there we go. Download. There we go. Just download the plugin and you will be asked to enter an API key. Mm-hmm. And that API key you can find in your account settings.
Excellent. Got you. So this is like, and that is also, I guess you have the API, right? For external applications. I don't even know how it can be by API, but anyway, yeah, I saw that. It's
some exciting integrations coming up in the next release too.
And the add-ons, I guess, too, right? Add-ons probably for Shopify, maybe, or.
Yes, you can pretty much create anything. Yeah, like for Shopify and for other keyword.
Use the API.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, we're building out some couple of integrations right now, and we'll ramp it up next year with more integrations. But
excellent, and probably you're covering that coming MUM update, right, by Google, which
yes,
very fast towards. Yeah, I read. And one last question I had. Sorry about bombarding you with the AI wizard. If you can go back to that article that you this one. So what is this AI wizard? How is it different from?
Okay, so let's click something which has at least a few keywords, so I can shoot with some.
Maybe we go.
Yeah, let's cool electric vehicle. Okay, and if we go to this AI wizard, is going to generate the title idea. I think you already seen this. You can add
Maybe.
keyword and generate it. But what's this really helpful is with ideation. So I can kind of look at these things and understand
Yep.
what outlines do I want to put in, all the information that I want to include, including Google Park questions, right? So I can
Yes.
construct an outline very easily. It also has some ways for you to find out what information you should be including.
Okay.
I just click on cool electric vehicles and see. Let's see if.
And you combine it again, like Lego, depending on the keywords that are relevant to what you want to rank for. You just combine different titles and sections in the outline. You build the outline very, very easy. And then what is it? Google PAA?
It's Google people also ask questions. So
Okay. Yeah. People also ask. Okay. So that.
And you see like electric, like car, right? Like these are the two.
So you select the most important keywords that you really want you want to rank for to include with the related keywords, right? And you build the combination filters, you text filters, all of the relevant each. So it makes your life easy. And then you combine the outlines and then you continue to next sections and you select, you rewrite. Again, it's rewriting the SEO titles and meta descriptions, right?
Right. So it's rewritten already in this section.
Yes. Okay.
In this one, it's ditto. So it's like copy paste. You can rewrite it once you take it into the editor, or you can rewrite it here by double clicking on it. Up to you. I'd suggest you take the editor.
You take it to the editor.
And some of the methods we have, or, a headline changer that we have.
So you simply click on plus on whatever you want to add to the editor, and then you proceed to the next step.
Yeah, you can also like click on this view icon to see what's under that particular.
Yes,
read through it, and all of these, it will add all of it. So,
and then you create sections outline, or the next step, it will be automatically rewritten using the AI.
Yes, and then you just add it to the outline render.
That's what I wanted to know, because it was confusing if at what stage it rewrites.
Yeah, AI Wizard is the first step, and again, like some of these things are going to change with next release. You're going to have much more structured workflow for any that you are trying to build.
That was, I was to say that was probably the only thing that was really,
it's complicated, right? Like it's because it's powerful and it has lots of utilities and tools and build that help you do copywriting and SEO writing. Yeah. It's also going to be a little complicated. And
for sure, yes.
We're trying to make it easier now.
But and the last question, sorry, I forgot about the interlinking. So the links, the internal links, maybe external links. Is it coming in the next release, like the assessments of?
So we will be focusing on internal links in the release next year, but not in the immediate release next. Because we have some AI powered stuff that we want to do to help you figure out what are the right kinds of links and tags that you want to be linking your links to. And stuff like that. It needs a little more. So yeah, it's probably the second release that we do next year will have some of these things feature for internal linking into the content. So we want you to be able to just kind of put a domain that this post is going.
And it scans it, and then the AI finds like it does. We were using Link Whisper. It's a plugin for WordPress before. It's the only one, unfortunately, that does external linking. Before there were a couple more. Like a few years ago, they discontinued. So yeah, it was really cool because it really makes a contextual link inside the text flow.
Yes.
So you will be working on that. Okay.
Yes, we're working on that. Yes. It's a bit of R&D. We need to write sentences with the right page authorities that you want to transfer and stuff like that. So it's a bit tricky, but we'll get.
Excellent. And you just please don't forget to send this sample article of the Hoshizaki stuff. I want to show it really. It's just
so you're talking about this link, right?
No, the Hoshizaki ice machines, the content that we generated on the fly today during this session. I just wanted to show it. Okay, it was generated from scratch, so I really want to show. Yeah, this one. So basically, how you export, you just doing this, and then you share it. Right.
Well, you can export it to
export to doc. Yes.
That's one. Yeah. You can also, let's say if it's an external person, you can just add their email address and send them a link. and they can open and check it.
Yeah. And this link is available to anyone, if you're not member of Outranking, right?
Yes, this link from here is available to anyone. If you are sharing within the teams and you don't want anyone to have access to it, then you can add them to your team and work with it.
Okay, I see. So maybe just doc will be, maybe send both. I don't know. I just wanted to show how this looks like. And yes, that's great. And also the content brief will be helpful. I saw that was the content brief that I was referring to. The separate, yes, the separate. I liked it very much. Executive, like, it was, here, in the, yes, this one also.
Yes, yeah, that's also this is pretty powerful stuff.
I see. It's insert this one. It's really good executive, like you send it to your boss, to your client, and fantastic, like lovely. Yeah, it's just lovely. I mean, yes, and so if you can send all the content brief and the article, I just want to show it to my colleagues. It's a self-seller. I mean,
so I'm just giving you access.
So just copy it to marketing. Yeah. So
there you go.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yes, that would be perfect. And also the final question. So is it only English, or you have other languages as well?
We're supporting 13 languages right now. Okay. Yes. And a couple of languages we have challenges with, which is Greek and Russian. But besides that, all languages are pretty well up. I mean, the remaining 11 are very well supported. And you can see it's
I saw. I just wanted to ask if they are really like supported everywhere
everywhere. They're supported everywhere. The only challenges we currently have with is Greek and Russian because of besides that, everything is pretty well supported.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, it's amazing. I mean, I have to say, rarely if you see something like this.
Thank you. Thank you. Means a lot. So hopefully you all got tremendous amount of value out of this, and we'll call it a day here. I'll share this presentation with you guys in an email.
And tell us where to write the review, actually, because you're no longer on AppSumo. I saw you were there.
G2, Captura. Yeah, either ones would be great. Thank you so much.
So we'll do that for sure. And absolutely.
Alrighty. Thank you so much all for joining today. This was a great conversation because lots of questions were coming in. I really enjoyed this one, and we'll keep doing this next week again. On Thursday, we do some advanced ones as well. So come to that if you want to learn a little more. We'll talk about how to really use concepts and what sort of information and template of concepts is right for what kind of content you're creating. So you have a better idea of how you can really go.
We'll definitely attend, at least me, myself. Definitely go.
Sounds good. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. And I'll catch you guys on Thursday.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye.
Great.